Have you been thinking about moving from California to Oregon? Then stick around because in today's video, I cover some of the reasons why so many of us Californians are making Oregon, and specifically Bend, Oregon, their new home. Hi everyone, I'm Corinne Jackson, your Bend, Oregon real estate expert with Living in Bend, Oregon. And if you're new to the show, welcome. I share all the ins and outs of living in one of Oregon's best towns and areas. I cover it all from neighborhood guides, pros and cons, and things to do. Now, while I enjoy making these videos, I love helping people find their dream homes even more. I get contacted all the time to help people moving to Bend, Oregon from other areas, and it's truly become a passion. My contact information is below, so you can reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you get notified whenever a new video drops. The glittering lights of the Golden State don't shine like they used to. From the beaches of San Diego to the foggy shores of San Francisco, California is seeing a great escape of its residents like never before. Though New Jersey and New York top the list of areas seeing the highest departure rates, California, as a newcomer on the list, popped up to number 5. There are countless reasons why people relocate and what drives them to seek greener pastures. Ex-Californians, like myself, are heading to all corners of the country. Still, you might be surprised to hear how many of them make the short trip north, right here to Oregon. Let's start with talking about the environment and lifestyle. The west coast of this country has a very different vibe and energy and environment than, let's say, the northeast or the south of the United States. It's no wonder why so many people from California find themselves relocating to familiar territory. That being said, there are reasons Oregon and Bend in particular seem so welcoming and exciting. People here on the West Coast are really into outdoor living and exploration. Perhaps it's our pioneering past or the incredible beauty that surrounds us. Still, we can't get enough of being outside. Because California is so large, it has a variety of climates, weather patterns, and environments for residents to enjoy. There are deserts and valleys, beaches, mountains, redwoods, and everything in between. However, depending on where you live, most of these places are pretty far from one another and require more than a simple day trip to enjoy. And with all of the wildfires and droughts of the last few years, areas that once were lush are still rebuilding themselves. Within the limits of Bend, one can enjoy the high desert climate, the mountains, a beautiful winding river, and lush forests. We're also only about 4 hours away from the coast, so if you or your family want a weekend at the beach, it's a relatively easy trip back and forth. All this make Bend a great launching point for all of your outdoor activities and adventures. We are also impacted by wildfires. Thankfully, though, they haven't destroyed as much of our wilderness as our neighbors to the south, but we definitely are affected by the smoke that gets carried from California, Washington, and even Canada. Most of Oregon also offers 4 distinct seasons. I know some places in California do, like Lake Tahoe and Yosemite, but most of the state doesn't really get 4 full seasons. Now, although we do get 4 seasons here in Bend, sometimes the winters can be mild, like the one we just had, or completely insane like the one we had a few years ago that was dubbed Snowpocalypse. It may be a stereotype, but many Californians are very into health and wellness. They want to eat right and exercise, and you'll find that people of Bend are very similar. We love our craft brews and artisanal delicacies, and we love to support our local farmers. You'll find many of our restaurants get a lot of their resources from local growers and ranchers. Almost every day, you'll find people hiking, biking, kayaking, fishing, and ziplining through life here. For natives of California looking to relocate, these similarities take the culture shock of moving out of the equation. Even 6 years after I moved from California to Bend, I still am surprised at how much parts of Bend feel like California, and it helps make this amazing town feel like home. Bend is also a wonderful place to raise a family. We have an excellent school system, tons of green space to play, and a real sense of community and belonging amongst our neighbors. These factors are causing a lot of people to move to Bend, Oregon, and we are happy to embrace the change. It's one of the biggest reasons why my husband and I decided to move to Bend, Oregon. Our daughter is 11 now, but when we moved here, she was only 5. When we decided to leave California, it was because we wanted to give our daughter a better life. At the time, the cost of living here was pretty good, and we knew we could give her more by moving to Bend. The schools were better, the people friendlier, and the crime was much lower than where we moved from. And it's proved to be one of the best decisions we've ever made. We do miss our families, but the benefits for our daughter were worth the cost. Okay, now let's talk a little about getting around. As the largest state in the country, California has close to 40 million people, according to the last census data. All those people making traveling anywhere within the state a logistical nightmare. We've all seen the news stories of the epic traffic jams and road rage Californians face on an everyday basis. Out of all 50 states, residents there come in 6th in the nation for long and weary commutes. And with more people headed back into the office after a few years of remote working, things are bound to get worse for our friends to the south. We fall on the better half of the commuting spectrum here in Oregon, with an average commute time of under 25 minutes one way. One of the top comments I get when showing people around town is how easy it is to drive through Bend. Because we are a relatively small town compared to cities like Portland, you can get from one far end of Bend to the other in less than 30 minutes. We do see more traffic in certain parts of town depending on which tourist season we are in, but it's pretty easy to plan for that and come up with an alternate route. Beyond that, each neighborhood has options for grocery stores, restaurants, dry cleaners, and other essential services. So you could go a week or more without leaving your little nook of town. Bend also has several walkable areas like downtown Bend, River West, and certain parts of the Orchard District. And with all our beautiful sunny days, it's a pleasure to walk around and enjoy a slower pace of life. Though it may seem like we are in the middle of nowhere, we do have an airport, bus, and train services. And we also have Uber and Lyft here to help you get around town after enjoying some of our many local breweries. So as you can see, you can get anywhere you need to go around the country and in the city relatively simply between these options. This difference definitely brings a pro in the category when considering a move to Bend, Oregon. Okay, super quick. Can I ask a favor and have you like this video? All the love really helps make the video perform better and get out to people who might really need this information. So you all knew this was coming, I'm sure. The top reason people find themselves relocating from California to Oregon is the cost of living. The Oregon Office of Economic Analysis recently reported that 57% of the people who now live in Oregon come from California and Washington. Why? The quality of life and cost of living, of course. Cost of living reporting has a base level of 100. The further over and under determines how high or low expenses are in those areas. The overall score for California is 149.9, and it's only that low because of the rural areas. But the numbers are much higher in the big cities. Los Angeles is 173.3, San Jose is 214.5, and San Francisco is 269.3. Next to Hawaii and Washington, D.C., California tops the list of most expensive areas in the U.S. We just talked about transportation regarding commuting, but the gas prices, fees, insurance, taxes, and emission restrictions, California drivers pay a ridiculous amount of money just to move around day to day. From housing utilities, entertainment costs, and basic necessities, living in California takes a lot of money. I know people who get offered great jobs all over the state and they turn them down left and right just because of the cost of living is so high. Now, Oregon in general is also rather pricey. I'm not going to lie to you, but Bend itself rings in on our cost of living scale at 123.5. Housing costs are the primary reason our town runs so high, and that of course is based on supply and demand. Our community is actively building more neighborhoods to accommodate all of our new residents, so we may see some prices level off a bit soon, hopefully. I just did a video on 3 new neighborhoods being built in Bend, and you can check it out by clicking on the little link right up here. So as you can see, when compared to California, Bend, Oregon is downright affordable. The average home in California costs over $100,000 more than it does here in Bend. That number only grows higher if you're moving from a major city like LA or San Francisco. Our utilities and transportation costs are significantly cheaper. And if you're planning on moving here from California, you'll save a bit on groceries as well. Although you will see less options than you're used to seeing. I have also done a video on the cost of living here in Bend that goes over a lot of this in more detail. You'll be surprised at some of the cost of living benefits we get here in Oregon. Another significant financial strain in California is taxes. Californians pay a minimum of 7.5% sales tax, and the state income tax is currently around 13%. And there are discussions about raising that rate even higher. Here in Oregon, we have no sales tax. In fact, people drive from Washington State, California, and even Utah all the time to go shopping. Our income tax is around 10% here in Bend, saving those relocating here thousands of dollars per year just in taxes. And as far as property taxes go, here in Deschutes County, we are sitting at around 0.85%. And that final number is going to change based on where you live and any district assessment taxes that get added in. But you'll typically see it around 1%. California is pretty much the same at the base rate, but some districts in California see significant district assessments, and I've seen some as high as 1.5%. That difference right there could save you a couple of $100s a month to even thousands depending on your price point. Quality of life was pretty much the biggest factor for my family choosing to move to Bend, Oregon. We have more money to spend to do the things we love to do rather than paying extra taxes or paying more for housing like we did in California. We are able to contribute to our local economy by being able to spend more eating out. And I love that little bonus because this means I don't have to cook as much. Another quality of life pro in favor of moving to Bend, Oregon for California, for sure. And because the pace of life here is so much slower than bigger cities, we find that we are less stressed, have more friends, get to spend more time with those family and friends, and are all around just happier. Have you recently moved here from anywhere in California? I'd love to hear some of your favorite differences and similarities. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you're considering joining the Great Escape and want to know more about housing options here in Bend, Oregon, be sure to give me a call, send me a text, or write me an email. My goal is to make the moving process as simple as possible so you can move and then move on with your life. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you get notified whenever I release a new one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.